Hi, welcome to my live this morning. Yeah, a little bit late, couple of minutes late. Boy, am I tired this morning. I don't quite know why. I'm just feeling really lethargic, really kind of, ugh. But anyway, got my coffee here, so I'm just gonna have a sip and I'll get started with you. How are you? If you're here or if you join watching on replay, just put in kind of where you're watching from, how you are today. Yeah, it'd be lovely to just connect with you. Just take another sip of coffee. I like this cup. It says hello sunshine. Gives me a bit of a lift in the morning looking at that, because yeah, the sun is shining today. Fantastic. Hopefully it's going to stay with us. So today I'm going to talk to you about mindfulness, and I've been up since about 6:30 thinking about what I want to say today, because mindfulness is something that is so important to me. It's actually changed my life, and I know that sounds like something quite extreme, but it seriously has, and it's something that I've had to learn and develop over the years. So I'm going to try, in the time I've got. Oh, hi Michael. Yeah, Michael from Raynham's watching. Brilliant. Good to see you here, Michael. And yeah, thanks for joining us. So yeah, mindfulness has literally changed my life. So I've been thinking since about 6:30 this morning how I can deliver to you in the 15 minutes that I'm going to deliver this video for, the key principles of mindfulness and why it's going to work for you, and how you can practice it. And so let's get started with that. So there's two different types of mindfulness, and the first one is called anchoring. Now, anchoring is just where we just find ourselves a way to just bring ourselves into the moment. Hi Noel, good to see you here as well. Just going to pick up my notes. So bringing ourselves into the moment reduces that stress about what's happened in the past, all those messages about what's happening in the future. And it's a very simple technique, because at the end of the day, we cannot control what's happened in the past, and we actually don't know what's going to happen in the future. So if you are struggling at the moment with levels of anxiety, perhaps you're feeling quite depressed and you're crying all the time, maybe you're coming out of an addiction and you're trying to recover from that, or maybe it's also you've been through some traumatic times or a difficult time recently and finding that you're ruminating a lot on thoughts about the past, about the future, what's going to happen, all that stuff just going on and on and on, that chitter chatter. So finding an anchor of some sort is important to bring us into the moment. So that anchor can be anything that is happening in the now. So one of the classics would be to just watch the clouds. Just simply just watch the clouds. And if your mind wanders, bring it back to just watching the clouds out the window, or go outside and have a look. Focusing on a sense. So perhaps it might be your hearing, just closing your eyes for a few moments and just tuning in to your hearing. So while you're listening to what you can hear, it might be some buzzing in your ears, which is what I can hear at the moment, or it might be something, some noise outside that you can hear. Try not to make any judgment, just notice what you are hearing. Another grounding technique or anchoring technique we can use is just touching something, just picking it up and just touching it, just feeling something, just noticing what it feels. That feels quite greasy because it's got oil on the outside of it, but spending some time just noticing that sensation. And if your mind becomes distracted, just bring it back to that sensation, that sense. So you can use sight, you can use hearing, you can use the sense of touch, and that's a simple way to understand what mindfulness is about. It's just bringing yourself into focus in a particular moment. And some people will use their breath. I personally found it quite difficult using my breath because I used to struggle with panic attacks. But for some people, that really works. Obviously, the breath is something that's happening in the moment. It's happening all the time. So by just noticing your breath coming in and then going back out again of your body, you are purely in the moment. And what that does to the brain is it settles down all those thoughts about the past and about the future. It tells your brain that in that moment, those particular thoughts don't matter. And that will calm down the stress response that you have that is triggered by those thoughts about the past that you can't control and the future that you can't control. Because it's amazing how much information our brain gives us on a daily basis about things that we can't control. And the brain is actually just trying to help you by doing that. But it's like an overactive computer. Let me give you an analogy. Say, for instance, you've got a workshop, maybe a business, and everything's running in that business, but you are being fed all the time, every day, information about every single department, maybe every single feeling that every single person in that department is going through. Perhaps you've got numbers going through your head, stock takes, deliveries. You've got all that going on in your head all the time. And that's information that our brain sends us. It triggers us with information that it feels that we need. But we almost have to tell our brains what information we do need and what information we don't need. So thought watching is also another form of mindfulness, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about. Maybe not in so much detail today, but obviously if you want to learn how to practice that, please get in touch with me. I'll put the link underneath to get in touch with me. But thought watching is a method whereby we actually go, okay, well, I want that thought. I don't want that thought. So you get some control over what's being fed, because as I say, your brain is like an overactive computer just feeding through information time and time again. So going on to the thoughts and emotions, because I think that's what a lot of us struggle with when we've been through a difficult time, where we have this stream of thoughts and emotions, and sometimes thoughts or emotions that just literally pop up out of nowhere, that we're like, okay, where did that come from? Now, you don't actually have to attach to any of those thoughts and emotions. They are passing by. It is your brain giving you information sometimes to try to support you, but actually a lot of the time you don't need it. It may have some relevance, but attaching to it will send you into a stream of thoughts and other emotions, which will bring on a stress response, bring on some kind of physical response. Stress response that will happen during the day. Sorry, I was just distracted by one of the comments there. So yeah, being aware of those thoughts and emotions that come through, how they actually end up in your brain, and thinking about, okay, well, actually maybe just I've had that thought, I've had that emotion, let me just notice that, give it a name. Naming our thoughts and emotions is really, really helpful. It's part of the mindfulness. So it's like, okay, guilt. Guilt's arrived today. I feel guilty. Allow it to just pass on. Thoughts. Oh, I shouldn't have done that the other day. That was the other day. Notice, oh, I'm having that thought again. Move it on. You don't need to attach to that thought. And it's a technique and a skill that maybe you could just have a little practice at some point today. Just sit quietly for a few moments and just notice thoughts and emotions as they come in. Just notice them. Oh, sadness, grief, fear. Just notice those emotions, but try not to attach to them. They have no meaning. It's just your brain sending you messages to understand, and it's trying to help you. But at the end of the day, your attachment to those thoughts and emotions is going to produce lots of stress and lots of tension within you. Okay, so let me just have a look at my notes. Just to make sure that I've said everything that I need to say to you. So we've spoken about anchors, we've spoken about thoughts and emotions, and I've given you that analogy of our brain being like an office where all this information is coming in all the time, and that's your brain trying to decipher what's going on, what it needs to deal with. It's giving you all this information, but actually some of it you don't need. So you can filter that out, or you can just notice that. Almost like, okay, I'm going to put that up on the board. I'm going to write that down on the flip chart. We need to deal with that, but not at this moment. So it's a process of being mindfully aware of what's going on with ourselves. And one of the key techniques you can use is anchoring to support you to be in the moment. We don't need to be in the future. We don't need to be in the past. Those are all thoughts that are going to stress us. So just being in the moment will help to kick in what we call the parasympathetic system, bring everything down, bring the calm in, and help you to relax. Let me just check my notes again. Okay. Now I can support you if you want to take this further. If you'd like to learn more about mindfulness, there's plenty of information out there. There's plenty of short courses you can do. But I'm offering to support people who would like to invest in this type of program and do 12 sessions with me. We will look at all different areas of how your brain is functioning and what messages it's bringing into you and how you can mindfully deal with those. So it's a 12 session course. It's online. You will have me face to face for an hour every week or every other week, probably better every week. But we will work through all these different aspects of mindfulness, and we'll also be able to work out exactly what's going on with you, what messages are coming through to your mind and your brain, and how that's affecting your body, and how you can start to calm some of that down. Believe me, mindfulness has done wonders for me. I used to be one of the most stressed people you can imagine. I was very negative. I used to attach to every thought. I used to feel that if I didn't do things in a certain way, the whole world was going to fall apart around me. I had such disastrous thinking, and I've had to learn to just be in the moment. Also, the self-critic, to learn and understand that the self-critic is actually something, just a warning system. I don't need to attach to that. Okay, well, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. If you're watching this on replay, please, just comment in the comment box where you're from, where you're watching from, how you are today, and I will see you again very soon. Take care.